Pro wrestling. Whew. Wow. For those of us who fell in love with it as a kid and continued in that love affair as an adult, we don't feel the need to explain this affection to others when it is far better to put on a display of that affection. That is something people will remember far longer than they will recall anything that you and I have had to say about anything. Sometimes there comes a point in the lives of a few precious few men who realize that in order for us to fully display our love for all mankind, we absolutely must produce our very own pro wrestling show. If that's you, then believe me, I understand. I jumped on that crazy train myself several years ago, and that train still hasn't made it to its final destination. Love hurts, folks. Love hurts. Tax season is coming up soon, and you promoters know what you're already thinking. Here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. You know what's happened every single time you've done that too. If you're good, you manage to actually hit the 3-show wall, and then you're out for the rest of the year, during which time you try to figure out what went wrong. You ran out of money, that's what went wrong. Ask me how I know. So you ask yourself, what is it that I can do to keep that from happening again? Time and time again, you will come to the conclusion that you need more sponsors. You've tried everything else. You've gotten better posters and more of them. You spread them far and wide. You juiced up your concessions and got some great talent. No matter what you do, you just can't seem to get enough people through that door to make the money work. How do you fix it? Well, you need more sponsors. How do you get them? You give them more of what they need so you can get more of them who are willing to give you more of what you need. What do they need? More customers. How do they get them? They advertise their products and services within their marketplace. That is what they are hoping for when they buy a sponsorship for your show. What do you give them in return? A nice mention from the ring a couple of times? Space for a merch table? Come on, get real. If you aren't paying for your show from the door, your sponsor won't get his brand out there to more than a handful of people, most of whom are family to the guys who are in the ring. What you need and what they need is quality advertising, and that's where All American Show Productions comes in. I've got a sweetheart deal for pro wrestling promoters that will really piss off a lot of people who make their living with a camera, but come on, I'm in this abusive love affair with you, and I just want to make things work. It's hard to walk away from something you've loved all your life. So here goes. I will shoot, edit, and publish your entire show at no charge if you do something for me in return. I need you to get a minimum of 4 sponsors who need professional 90-second advertising spots that will be featured twice during your show. They will also get a standalone copy of the ad spot for their own use. You only have to pay me $200 per sponsor. You can charge your customer whatever you need to charge them in order to cover the cost of the show. The more sponsors you get, the less you have to charge them. The less you have to charge them, the easier it will be to close the deal. For an additional $200, I will produce 2 promotional ad spots for your show, one 30 days out and the second one during the week of your show as you direct. You will be responsible for providing me the photographic content required to produce the promos. If you are outside of Northeast Florida, I will need to charge you for fuel to get into your territory to shoot the sponsor ads in advance. I will need that well in advance of the show, along with the necessary contact information for your sponsors so that I can begin working with them to craft a message to their customers. Those operational costs need to be paid for 60 days in advance of the show so that we will have the ad spots ready before bell time. 50% of the sponsor advertising cost will be due before bell time, and the remaining 50% will be payable upon completion of the project. This means that you will get to keep the door and the concessions as pure profit. It will help you get started on the next show when we will rinse and repeat. This formula will turn a profit for your show every single time. This is how that expensive love affair of ours is maintained. Turn it back and forth inside your head how many times you think you need to, but you know that what I'm saying is right. Now then, what are you going to do about it? Prom season is coming up and I can't go to the dance with everybody. Book me in advance because I love to dance.